Hi you guys, welcome to my channel. Hey, it's Callie. How you guys doing today? Thank you so much for coming by. Today's going to be a really great topic, and I just want to discuss what it's like going to a HBCU, and we'll get into things like the food. We'll talk about activities, dorm life, whether or not you need a car, and we'll discuss some of the things that you can do off campus as well. So we'll go over some really quick things. I'll make this video as fast as I can. So first, let's just start out. I went to Hampton University. It was in Hampton, Virginia. It was founded in 1868. It's a really beautiful campus. It's a HBCU, one of the top HBCUs that I know about, other than Howard University. So, yeah, it's a really great school. And let's talk about food life. So food life, you have the CAF. It is really great. You mostly get pizza, hot dogs, and stuff like that. But it's a really good, option, especially if you're on campus already. Otherwise, you can order food. You can order Papa John's and pizza and stuff like that if you want. If you live in the harbor areas or whatever. So yeah, it's a really nice food options or whatever on campus. And then let's get into dorm life. Okay, so dorm life, I lived on campus for 2 years, and then for 2 years I lived off campus. Okay, so I used to live in Twitchell Hall, which is home of the Trendsetters. Okay, and then I lived in Queens Hall, and that speaks for itself. So yeah, Twitchell Hall was super cool, you guys. It was right by the water. It was steps away from everything, and you could do so much in that dorm. And we used to have late night meetings where we wear our pajamas and eat snacks and stuff like that and have girl talk. It was so fun, I swear. And then making all your friends and everything, it was the coolest thing ever to live on campus. So I definitely suggest if you're thinking about going to a HBCU, to live on campus, especially for your first year, because freshman year is when you're trying to get to know everybody and you're trying to just really get acclimated at the school and everything. So living on campus, you get to walk around, go to all the different, locations on campus and meet all the, different advisors and stuff like that. So it's really fun. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely living on campus is where it's at. Okay, now let's get into living off campus. Okay, so yeah, the third year I ended up living off campus. I ended up staying maybe 2 miles away from school. So I ended up needing a car, because those first 2 years I didn't have a car, but then I ended up getting a car, and it was the coolest thing ever, because that's your first time having autonomy, being by yourself, just being able to decide what you want to do and where you want to go, being in college, so it was one of those fun things where I can really recall, I want to share with you guys, some of my experiences and what it's like, living off campus. Living off campus, you just gotta drive, back and forth, because you might have classes 3 times a week. I didn't really have classes every day. It was 3 times a week that I had to drive back and forth. So that made it a little easier. At least it wasn't 5 days a week that you were driving back and forth, because I had my classes set up where, I could just go in on certain days and stuff like that. So it was really cool. And then, let's talk about the activities. Okay, so some of the activities that we used to have were really fun, because we used to meet up, in the central area, and then we used to have it was almost Apollo theater nights or whatever, where we would have different artists come in and they would perform in this really nice area on campus. And then we had our scholarship days, where not scholarship days, but days where different companies would come in and like try to recruit people and everything. So it was like super cool. Like the activities on campus were like so much fun. And then we used to have the parties and off campus and everything, like the cabaret or whatever was like one of the annual things that we used to have, you know. So like, oh my gosh, like when I tell you the activities are like really where it's at when you go to a HBCU, it's like a lot of fun. So like I remember one year, like I actually like helped throw a party, and like it was like with a bunch of like football players and everybody. It was like so much fun. Like it was like so cool. We had so many people. It was like sold out and everything, you know. So parties and events on campus are so cool, whether you're trying to build your resume or get an internship or, you know, go to a party or an event. Like all the events are fun, especially like the football games, you know what I'm saying, basketball games. Like those were always like big events like on campus. Like to go to those or whatever, you have like so much fun, like I'm trying to tell you. So those are some of the activities that used to go on. And then like I said, the cabaret, that was more like of a dress-up event, like where you dress in all black or whatever, but you dress real fancy and stuff like that, and wear your high heels and stuff like that. So I used to get my high heels out and stuff. So yeah, it used to be like super cool. Because I lived on campus, like I said, for the first 2 years, and then stayed off campus those last 2 years. So it was like super cool. It was so much fun, you know, definitely memorable moments and lots of memorable experiences. And then like when you join, you know, certain like clubs and stuff, like I was a part of the National Society of Black Engineers. Like it was so cool because we used to take charter buses to different states and have competitions, you know, for certain things that you know, were included under the organization. So it was like really fun, like because you got to meet other people from different states and other schools. Like we used to meet people from Alabama A&M and like, you know what I'm saying, like Tennessee State and stuff like that. So, you know, we used to meet up with like a lot of different other schools. So it used to be like so much fun, you guys. Like when I tell you, like it was the funnest. So those are some of the things as far as activities that we used to do. So far I've discussed the food, I've discussed the dorm life, I've discussed activities. Let's get into whether or not you need a car. Like you really don't need a car. Like if you live on campus, like you could just literally like walk and then use cabs, you know what I'm saying? And then like we used to just like link up together, like me and my friends or whatever would link up together and get into a cab together. So, you know what I'm saying, when you need to go to somewhere, because most of the time, the only time you really leave campus, at least for us, was to go to the mall. Or like if you had to do something like going to get your hair done or something like that. Like other than that, we were mostly at campus like 24/7, you know, going back and forth, you know, to the library, back and forth to, you know, the halls and everything, or back and forth to the dorm room. So you're pretty much on campus, you know, like doing the activities that after, you know, school events or whatever that were going on. You know, it used to be like so much fun. Like, you know, Hampton days were like really like the funnest days I can remember of my life. You know, so I just want to put that out there and share with you guys some of the fun things about it. And the only other thing I didn't discuss was oh, I think that was everything. I think that was everything because I discussed food too already. So yeah. And I discussed parties, right? Okay, yeah. So that was everything. So, I mean, we used to have other local parties as well. Like, definitely parties were like, you know, something you can find like on campus or whatever, or off campus, like if you're a party person or whatever. But like, you know...